everybody, I'm the Bit Informant, and today I wanted to talk to you about the upcoming Bitcoin ETF and what it means for Bitcoin going forward. Today's date is March 5th, 2017. So first of all, let's talk about what an ETF is. It's an investment fund where a certain party purchases an asset and then redistributes that to shareholders, and it's tracked. So for example, the Bitcoin ETF will track the Bitcoin price, but the Bitcoin ETF holders, known as COIN, COIN, that's the Bitcoin ETF, don't expose themselves to the risk of holding Bitcoin. So here's the Bitcoin ETF website. This is launched starting from the Winklevoss twins. So yeah, their website is just kind of a placeholder for waiting approval from the SEC, which should be happening around March 11th. Now, March 11th falls on a Sunday, I believe. So the ruling could happen on that following Monday, or it could happen before. So according to their website, COIN will be an exchange-traded fund that can track the price of Bitcoin because its only asset will be Bitcoin. Shares of COIN will represent fractional ownership of the fund's total Bitcoin. So that sounds like the ETF will be fully backed by Bitcoin. Now, we have a guest today that may have a question for us. JJ, do you have any questions for us?
I'm wondering how that's going to be any different than a gold ETF, which, I mean, gold isn't necessarily represented or backed by the ETF all the time. So is that going to happen to this ETF, the Bitcoin one?
Well, I don't know how to answer that exactly, but as far as I know, a gold ETF is backed by gold, and it tracks gold for their investors. But I don't think it's as transparent as you'd be told so. So, for example, the vault that holds the gold for the gold ETF, maybe they've issued more shares of the ETF than they actually have gold that backs up in the vault. That's always a question. But with Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that backs up the Winklevoss COIN ETF is transparent. It's known. It can be looked up on the blockchain. So at any given point, we can know if there's more shares issued of the coin than there are Bitcoins to back it up in the investment trust.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like the transparency of it, I guess.
Yeah, so the transparency is something that's going to be new to the whole investment realm. It's something we really haven't seen before, so this would be pretty interesting to go forward. But it's important to note that it's not yet approved, and maybe it won't get approved. I see a bunch of analysts and big-time players putting 50-50 odds on the approval process, which means no one really knows. But fortunately for us, it seems like this Donald Trump administration is at least supportive and open to Bitcoin and other blockchain technologies. So yeah, essentially we're waiting for the ruling on March 11th. If that happens, Bitcoin will be immediately available to any standard investor, investment fund, hedge fund. Pretty much you'll open the floodgates to Bitcoin.
Does that mean that my 401k, I can put some into that ETF?
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, you can head over to the coin-etf.com. I believe that's the Winklevoss's official website. Yeah, at the bottom of their page, it's the Digital Asset Services LLC, the sponsor of the Winklevoss Bitcoin Trust. The trust has filed preliminary regulation statement for the trust with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, to offer its Winklevoss Bitcoin shares to investors after the trust registration statement is declared effective by the SEC. So yeah, essentially we've been waiting in this limbo period for some time now for the SEC to approve it.
Can they extend it again?
According to what I've read, they can't. March 11th is the latest extension deadline, and the way I understand it is that if March 11th passes, well, that Monday following March 11th, if that passes with no decision, then it's automatically approved unless they otherwise state differently. So I'm going to pull up another article real quick here from Cointelegraph entitled "To the Moon, Analysts Optimistic Towards Bitcoin ETF Approval, 50% Probability." So yeah, this article goes on to talk about the coin ETF, how it's in limbo with the Securities and Exchange Commission, why they believe it could be approved, how Bitcoin has kind of grown up over the years and it's now described as digital gold. It's becoming more serious.
Does that mean that they're going to put any, I don't know, standards or regulations onto Bitcoin if they approve the ETF?
No, the standards and regulations will be the same for all ETFs.
But they won't do anything to Bitcoin itself?
No, they can't do anything to Bitcoin itself. So yeah, essentially this article goes on to talk about the odds of it getting approved, why it will, and then it talks about the over-the-counter solution to the current investment trust, which is the Bitcoin Investment Trust, GBTC, which is traded in major regulated markets, but it comes at a high premium. And I'm not exactly sure why the premium is there, but it's at a $50 premium today, so it's not that large. But anyways, yeah, keep this in mind if you're a day trader or a short-term speculator. This could be a major decision on March 11th that's going to bring a lot of price volatility. It seems pretty obvious that if the Bitcoin ruling, the ETF, gets approved, that it's a no-brainer long, but who knows what's going to happen. If it gets denied, it sure seems like there's going to be a short-term panic sell-off. But I really don't think, if a denial happens, that kind of sucks, but I don't think Bitcoin really needs the ETF to survive. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, catch you guys later.